If there were drugs on the market that made everything look beautiful or help you love again, would you take them? I came from uptown, way uptown. I came from uptown, way uptown. I came from uptown, way. I checked out Spiderhead. It's a sci-fi thriller film that was directed by Joseph Kosinski. The film is based on a short story called Escape from Spiderhead. It kind of gave off the vibes of an episode of Black Mirror. The film revolves around Steve Abnesti, the owner of a pharmaceutical company that tests his experimental drugs at his Spiderhead Penitentiary and Research Center. Spiderhead is on an isolated island and he takes volunteer inmates from prison to be his lab rats for his experimental drugs. The drugs are pumped into his lab rats with a device attached to their lower backs called a MobiPack. Each drug affects a person's senses and feelings differently with the push of a button. Steve created them hoping that people would develop long-lasting feelings after usage to help them control their emotions and keep them out of trouble. But after each drug wore off, his lab rats snapped out of whatever they were feeling. Now, obviously, none of the drugs Steve created are real, but mood-altering drugs are an interesting sci-fi concept, so let's run through all of the mood-altering drugs that Steve created for his Spiderhead experiments that he initially named with a bingo card. G46, aka Lafodil, was the first drug we saw in action. It causes people to laugh uncontrollably. When Steve and his partner were testing it out on the inmate at the start of the film, he laughed at their corny jokes and even historical facts and at how long his prison sentence was. This drug was developed to help people get along and get through tough times by laughing off their pain. N40, aka Love Actin, was a drug that causes people to easily fall in love. It also makes people feel extreme sensations and see beauty in everything they look at. Under its influence, the inmates hooked up in seconds, and Steve used it just for kicks right before he went to bed. B15, aka verbaluce, gives a person the ability to speak more lucidly. Whenever Steve wanted his lab rats to express themselves clearly, he gave them a dose of verbaluce. Then the person would instantly acquire a more vast vocabulary and have the urge to speak their minds. I-27, aka phobica, was a drug that causes people to be extremely scared of just about everything. When Steve used it on Lizzie, she was shook of a stapler. Steve said it could be used to make people be afraid of things that were bad for them, like certain food or even thinking too much. I-16, aka darkenfloxx, was a drug that was designed to be an agitator. It increases a person's stress level and causes them to feel extreme depression. A strong enough dose can make a person suicidal and extremely self-destructive. And finally, B6, aka obdx, was the focus of Steve's experiments because the drug made people obedient. Steve ran tests with B6 to determine if it could make people obey his every command. But there was a catch. The drug could never make a person obey enough to hurt what they love. At the end of the film, Steve's Moby Pack malfunctioned after being damaged in his fight with Jeff. His damaged Moby Pack gave him a mix of all his drugs, and he lost control of himself and became extremely unstable. He must have got a heavy dose of love actin because he mistakenly crashed his plane after he saw a beautiful glow in a mountaintop and was attracted to it. The film had a slow, confusing start, but as it played out, it got more thrilling and entertaining. I'm gonna go ahead and run Spiderhead 3 mics. Let me know what y'all thought about the film in the comments below. If y'all enjoyed the video, make sure y'all like and subscribe. I have movie related content dropping every week, so lock in with me and hit that like and subscribe button, and I'm gonna get up with y'all on the next video, alright? Holla at me. I came from uptown, way uptown.
Renegade,
I came from
renegade,
uptown,
renegade,
way
renegade,
uptown.
renegade.
I came from uptown, way